So this is Baruch Flashman here on the devikus channel and also on the channel of the American Kabbalah Network, bringing you different kinds of Kabbalah to us. This is a tremendous, tremendous work. Not easily, and we're not talking about somebody who's real wealthy and real successful in terms of writing books yet. And so therefore there are a few mistakes here and there in the editing. But the basic idea here is something that I'm really trying to learn, and that's the reason why I'm reading it now. I want to learn this. I'd like to learn all different kinds of meditations. This is something really, really good. That's very, very helpful. And this is like a flowering. It's like the plant, to me, that was planted by Rabbi Nachman in terms of his Beit. This is the flowering in many different directions. Perhaps it existed all along. But at any rate, now we're learning Rabbi Mimran. So Rabbi Mimran has been working on this book. He travels all over the world. In the meantime, he's putting books together. It's not easy. But here he wants to talk about this concept, where connectedness takes us. That's the devikus. So this concept, if you really wanted to try this book, first I'm reading it so that I can publicize it and people could see it. It's something that has to be practiced in your own way, and you have to take it seriously because it can really, really help you psychologically and spiritually. So here we have on part 4. So we're coming over here, and the Torah is saying like this. Let's look at this little blurb he has. It says, Shelo yihye lo shum tachlis. A person should not have any other goal in life. Acher, b'kol ma'aseh she'asa, with everything that he does. Im katan v'im gadol, if it's a big thing or a little thing. Ela the hiskara v'lov yisbarach. And every little thing that you do, every big thing that you do in your life, you should use it as a tool to become closer to eternity. That's really what I translate it as. V'lishvor kol ha'mechitzos hamapsikos beina devein kolim. Break down all the walls that separate you from your Creator. Now, he has been talking up to this time to me and saying that my thinking, I've got to learn how to watch my thinking and realize there's a difference between me and my thinking. Heina kol inyane ha'chumrios v'hatuluya b'chem. And he's talking about all the things that have to do with physicality, all of them. Ad sheyamshik achrav yisbarach, until all of this physicalness, you're able to pull yourself after Hashem Yisbarach. Mamish kebarzel acher, like a different kind of, he says, a magnet at the bottom, like a magnet. Yourself pulled in. So it writes like this. When it happens that a gap occurs in our stream of thought, when we land into a state of no mind, it is possible to experience moments of deep peace. For most people, such gaps in thought happen only rarely, and they happen accidentally at times when the mind is rendered speechless. This may occur when one is triggered by great beauty, or alternatively by extreme physical exertion, or even by finding oneself in a situation of great danger. Suddenly the mind is, in psychology, they say actualized. It's now, it's in the now. At such times, suddenly there is inner stillness. Surprisingly, within that stillness, there's a subtle but intense joy. There is love, there is peace. Precious moments like this, he writes, are generally short-lived, for the mind is quick to resume its usual loud, boisterous activity that we call thinking. So these times are very short. These feelings of pure love, joy, and peace cannot truly thrive until you have freed yourself of the dominance of your mind. For these feelings are not emotions. They exist on a much deeper level, in a place that lies beyond the emotions. The only way to fully experience the pure feelings that lie beyond the emotions is to first become fully conscious of your emotions and to be able to feel them authentically. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I can become very emotional. And what he's trying to say is it's possible to watch those emotions too, even though you feel them so strongly, it's you. So let's go on. He says, love, joy, and peace are deep states of the neshama. Or more accurately, They are three beautiful aspects of the state of interconnectedness with the neshama. And because their place is deep inside, where the neshama dwells, because they arise from beyond the mind, they are complete as they are. They have no opposites. Now, opposites are an interesting idea. In this way, love, joy, and peace are not at all like emotions, which, similar to the mind that brings them into existence, are of dualistic nature. Emotions are subject to the law of opposites. This simply means that behind every emotion lies its opposite. In the world of the mind, there is no good without bad. Thus, when we identify with the mind, we might erroneously think that what we are feeling is joy, but this type of joy is actually the usual short-lived pleasure that is present within the continuously alternating cycle of pain and pleasure. Interesting idea, the idea of opposites existing in the world of the mind. What is the difference between joy and pleasure? Pleasure is always derived from something that is outside of you. Whereas joy, this joy arises from within. Because pleasure is external, it is almost inevitable that the very thing that gives you pleasure, that will be today, will give you pain tomorrow. Or that tomorrow you would not have it, and then its absence will cause you pain. Let me see if I got this right. Tomorrow may come immediately, or it may come only after some time. It might happen, for instance, that you finally acquire something you have been wanting for a long time, but then you realize that it is not as wonderful as you thought it would be, and that realization itself will cause you anguish. The item may break, it may get lost or stolen or taken care of, or it may prove to be more trouble than it's worth. There are countless ways that someone or something that gives you pleasure can later lead to pain or disappointment. Joy, on the other hand, is always there, inside of you. It cannot be lost, stolen, or broken. It will never have a change of heart. It will always be there for you. You need only to learn how to access it. He writes in his blurb at the end of this little piece, he writes, feelings of pure love, joy, and peace cannot truly thrive until you have freed yourself of the dominance of your mind. And we'll go on from here. This is Baruch Fleischman of the Tikkun Elevator Kolo, and also saying this year on the Devikus channel. Thank you very much for learning with me. This is Baruch Fleischman.